Though it's pretty awesome and normal to play video games, the gaming world can be weird. Hi folks, it's Falcon, and today on GameRanx, the weird gaming stories of July 2019. Coming in at number 10, a dad in Japan done went and sold his kid's Nintendo Switch to buy a golf club. A golf club. This got me heated because no, that ain't cool. I mean, I'm sure that this would have been a different situation if, like, he sold it for food so the family could eat or something. But a golf club? No. Anyway, his kids had actually invited friends over to play the Nintendo Switch that day. So when they woke up and found it was gone, they were extra crushed, which is just the icing on the this is a bad story and it's unfortunate it happened cake. And here's the thing, this dad had done this before. According to the cousin, which is who actually posted about this on the internet, he'd also previously stolen their PlayStation Vita, PSP Go, and PlayStation 4 Pro. The cousin temporarily gave these kids his Switch so that they'd have something to play in the meantime, but, I mean, this does not sound like a problem that is easily solved with simply giving them a piece of hardware. Coming in at number 9, an AMD exec appeared on a podcast to brag about baiting Nvidia into a price they could beat, I guess, in what has come off as a bit of a Sega does what Nintendo don't moment for me. Scott Herkelman tweeted "jabaited" onto Twitter, which is a silly word and I'm not going to get into it. You know what baited means. It means that plus some cultural references. Now, AMD debuted their new line of cards at a price that was considered to be very competitive. It was reviewed well as a good price for the dollar, more performance for the dollar, etc., by more than a few outlets. Now, keep in mind they could have debuted it at a lower price, and this is part of the sort of little game that he had going. Nvidia adjusted their price to compete with the price that they debuted the cards at. This is apparently them taking the bait, as they again adjusted the AMD prices, putting them even more competitive with even the new price. And although this is kind of clever, actually, that they would even talk about it in public, it definitely does sound like, hey, look, we're trolling the other company. We do have to keep in mind, these are companies, and in all likelihood, this could have been a strategy, or it could have just been them saying, you know, let's not let them beat us on our price, and let's also make a thing about it. I tend to err on at least, you know, kind of listening to the braggarts brag. They tend to reveal more about what they're actually doing when they're bragging. But it's worth noting that it's very strange for executives to be like, haha, we baited you. Coming in at number 8, Nintendo's Joy-Con problem got so bad they finally caved and started repairing it for free. And it's not like they made some big announcement or anything, it kind of is a quiet admission. I'd wager it probably comes along with some changes in the hardware, given they are working on a new version of the Nintendo Switch with better battery life. I have to imagine that the Joy-Cons will be at least kind of better if they're actually recognizing the problem. But that's speculation on my part. The thing that they are actually doing now is, after walking customers through a step-by-step troubleshooting, they're just repairing them for free. And the reason why, most likely, is how much negative attention it's gotten lately. Gamers and outlets alike have been really talking about this a lot. Because in a lot of cases, the problem manifests itself after a couple months. It actually did happen in one of my sets of Joy-Con, so it's not as if this is an entirely foreign issue to anyone here at GameRanx. And although I tend to use the Pro Controller, I mean, a lot of people get this problem. And given Nintendo is what is generally looked at as a good company, it's good of them to do this. Although it's a bit weird it took this long. Number 7, Gamer Girl Bathwater. Oh yeah, that's a thing that everybody got involved with talking about for at least a week. I want to say a little bit longer, but wow, I heard everyone talk about it. It's almost like it was built as kind of a prank that would get attention of some kind. I don't know, it's kind of weird, isn't it? There was a very large amount of wild rumors regarding this, too. A lot of people talked about how that there was herpes in the water. Someone else decided that they were going to sell her pee, like a website claimed to be her and selling her pee. And a lot of people either fell for that or used it to say that she's also selling her pee. And that story really reached proportions that probably aren't warranted. And I'm not talking about like how mean people were, I'm talking about how much people were talking about it. Like, wow. I mean, we're talking about it now, not because it was weird she was selling bathwater. That's something that various online people have done for a very long time, actually. And I feel like this just got blown out of proportion quick. Is it weird? Sure, but it's definitely not important. Coming in at number 6, some executives from Epic had to answer questions to a UK Commons committee that inquired over things like data protection rules and addictive gaming mechanics, as in intentionally addictive gaming mechanics. The company admitted to ignoring regulations about data protection and especially about age restrictions, which is a strange thing to admit. That opens you up for some interesting investigation. And they claimed ignorance about knowing how long people play their games, which is easily recordable. In fact, it's probably the most easily recordable thing, how long somebody is logged in. And I promise you that Epic is paying attention to that. Every gaming company is paying attention to that. I mean, we've had EA doofuses bragging about how many hours in game people are playing, even maligned titles of theirs, specifically because they want people to understand there's an active community to play their live services. What was far more, I think, shocking to anybody involved in this hearing was when an executive said, "I don't think it's accurate to define Epic as making money from people playing the game." That's the most dishonest thing I've ever heard. Somebody from Epic really said that. Now, I'm sure they were trying to finesse the technicality of the statement itself by implying that they don't make money from people playing, but make money instead from people buying battle passes and skins and stuff like that. But just what? This is a live service, am I wrong? You're providing the service, people are playing the game. The game is the service, so you're making money from people playing the game. Like, no, that's nonsense. And people shouldn't take this kind of nonsense credulously, like, don't just believe it. No, you should be the opposite of this. You should be incredulous. Just a little grammar lesson for you in your astounding weirdness of how blatantly full of crap executives can be. Coming in at number 5, the Borderlands box art apparently almost had a foot. The art that they almost used had somebody motioning pretend guns at their head with their hands and a foot, which is very silly and very, very in line, in my opinion, with the Borderlands ethos. But I am gonna say, I think their decision not to have somebody motioning a pretend gun at their head probably had something to do with getting it into stores and onto digital storefronts. And the compromise that they did, the pretend Jesus with the hand grenade and all that, in truth, also I think is very much in line with their ethos. Still would have been pretty funny to see a foot as a pretend gun on a game cover. Coming in at number 4, a YouTuber by the name of UI Gamer, who makes a lot of airplane crash, emergency landing in GTA 5 type videos on YouTube, posted a video of them avoiding a gas tank. It's actually a pretty cool video, but it is just a video game, and several people fell for it as being real and a pilot avoiding a terrorist attack. You see, an oil tanker drives out onto an airfield, and a plane nearly lands but then takes off. A Pakistani politician by the name of Karam Nawaz Gandapur shared the footage with the following caption: "Narrow escape of an aircraft which could have ended in a great disaster. Miraculous save by the pilot's presence of mind." Which is something you say when you think that the game footage is actually real footage. Another account, which is not an actual politician, it's just a kind of a physics thing, which, this is a severe blow to the credibility of this organization, but physicsastronomy.org shared the video saying terrorist attack in Algeria which fails to work because of the pilot's immense skill. Yeah, some place that's actually constantly talking about physics and astronomy mistook a GTA 5 video for real life. Okay, coming in at number 3, Respawn, the developers and maintainers of Apex Legends, the surprise hit battle royale game that's pretty damn good actually, suffers from the same problem as basically every other game that there is online interaction in. Cheaters play the games too. In fact, there's economies that spring up around cheating software used for not just Apex Legends, but a lot of games. And Respawn is handling it by forcing the cheaters to play with each other rather than with the general public. When they detect cheaters, they ban them to a sort of cheaters-only battle royale, which actually sounds completely awesome. So awesome that it is actually a common request to watch the cheaters-only matches with the names blurred out. And it may be because the actual skill of using cheats is what's on display here. It may involve a lot of utterly impossible gaming moves that you'd never see anywhere else, or it may just be to see them get a taste of their own medicine. I don't know, but either way, I do think it probably would be fun to see, and I would watch. Coming in at number 2, NeoGAF users translated a Polish interview to say that the Cyberpunk 2077 developers are including religion in the game, even if it may offend the sensitivity of some. Now, this was an incorrect translation, however, it gained a lot of traction, and a lot of people talked about it. The actual thing CD Projekt Red said about religion was, well, players are free to explore religion in the game as they choose. Quests that involve religion will be designed to avoid any disrespect. I'm gonna go ahead and say I think that this was maybe a case of the overzealous got the PC police good people here, a faction that seems to be as overzealous as the PC police themselves, and the argument that came from this involved those two factions, weirdly enough. And finally, coming in at number 1, a glitch on a stream unveiled a very popular streamer in China by the name of Your Highness QIAOBILUO, apologies if not pronounced correctly, as a 58-year-old woman. She racked up quite a few followers on a streaming platform called Douyu, and she had her face covered by a cartoon image for the most part forever. A glitch caused the image that was covering her face to disappear, and she continued streaming, talking with the other person who was on the stream, and people started to leave. She actually didn't notice that this had happened until, well, some fans started calling foul and disappearing. However, where this sounds like it could be going to the point of the internet destroying this woman, it went the opposite direction. Instead, fans started calling Your Highness QIAOBILUO Granny and started following in much bigger numbers. She grew from 130,000 to over 500,000 followers very quickly, and somehow overcame the vindictive nature of the internet to come back to streaming a week later to many more fans and having lots more fun, even saying she's going to become a rapper, which I don't know that she should. Couple of bonus points for you. There's a Pokemon engagement ring. It's Pikachu themed. It's actually not the worst thing I've ever seen, but it is weird. It does 2 Pikachu tails. They hold the diamond or whatever rock you put in it. And it comes in a Pokeball case, which I'm going to go ahead and say if you see somebody do this, pop the question this way, I know you're going to have the urge to talk to them. Probably don't. I don't think you're going to see somebody do that, though. The jeweler that does it is in Tokyo, so, I mean, maybe they'll have to export a bunch of them. I don't know. I'm not even going to speculate, to be honest. I mean, we're talking about some people's special moment, you know? Leave them alone. And a new Microsoft studio called The Initiative has picked up some developers from the God of War level design team. It's almost as if it was created explicitly to siphon people off of Sony's Santa Monica studios, like Santa Monica Studio, because The Initiative is in Santa Monica. Have to imagine the pay is just a little bit better or something, because they don't have to move, I'm guessing. I don't know. A video scene of a parrot pretty much perfectly emulating Nintendo Switch sounds got passed around the internet, and it is impressive. I mean, it sounds exactly like the Nintendo Switch. I don't have a lot of commentary to add to that. You need to see and hear it. It's amazing. What did you think? Leave us a comment, let us know. If you like this video, click like. If you're not subscribed, now's a great time to do so. We upload brand new videos every day of the week, and the best way to see them first is, of course, a subscription. So click subscribe, and don't forget to click the notification bell. As always, thank you very much for watching this video. I'm Falcon. You can follow me on Twitter @FalconTheHero, and we'll see you next time right here on GameRanx.